Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry that we are late, but in fact our audience at the Vatican lasted considerably longer than was originally scheduled, and of course we had an audience also with Cardinal Sigondiali, the Cardinal Secretary of State. I have briefly to read to you a communique on which we agreed this morning. I don't think it will add very much to your knowledge, but I must put it on the record, and there will be copies, I've no doubt, available. I'll read it quickly, since you will have copies. Mr. Harold Wilson, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, and Mr. George Brown, the Foreign Secretary, visited Rome from January 15th to 17th, 1967, for talks with Signor Moro, President of the Council of Ministers of Italy, Signor Nenni, Vice President of the Council of Ministers, Signor Fanfani, the Italian Foreign Minister. 3 meetings were held on Monday, January 16th, and Tuesday, January 17th, at the Palazzo Chigi. There was a full discussion of the issues involved in Britain's approach to the European Economic Community. On January 16th, Signor Moro gave a luncheon for the British ministers in the Palazzo Chigi. Mr. Wilson, Mr. Brown called on the President of the Italian Republic at the Quirinale Palace on the evening of January 16th, and were later entertained by him to dinner and a reception at the palace. That's all that is there. I don't think I shall bother to translate it. Copies will be available. Any questions?
Circle BBC. What's been the most concrete result of your visit to Rome?
I know your voice so much better than your face, and it's a pleasure to meet both of them. I would say, but I would like the Foreign Secretary to make his own comment, we have made a good start on this round of visits to the heads of government of the six. We had a most friendly reception. We were able to hear the views of the Italian government on the British program for admission to the economic community, and we were able to discuss with them, frankly and as between friends, the still quite formidable problems that will be faced in negotiations. I think it has been a successful visit, but of course it's only the first of six, and we have to look at the picture as a whole at the end of the six.
Signor Primo Ministro, il Presidente del Consiglio Moro ha detto a termine dei colloqui che anche se ci sono problemi facili e problemi difficili, nessun problema è insolubile e che per l'Italia quindi la via dell'accesso della Gran Bretagna al mercato comune è aperta. Lei è d'accordo con questo giudizio e se è d'accordo può dirci quali sono i problemi difficili?
I agree very much with Signor Moro that there are difficult problems and easy problems, but that, and I just interpolate this, given goodwill and understanding, none of them are incapable of a solution. I am certainly clear that, as he said, that so far as the Italian government is concerned, the door is open, so you can take it that I am in agreement with what he has said. What are the difficult and what are the easy problems? It would be wrong for me or the Foreign Secretary to judge on the basis of 1/6 of our visits, which they are going to prove. But I think it is clear to everyone that perhaps the most difficult problems arise out of the agricultural situation, with particular reference to certain of the financial regulations that have been agreed within the six.
In October 1964, your government, without any authorization or previous consultation with other governments concerned, applied a surtax on imports. This was in this regard of general tariff and trade committee. Now, what guarantees is Britain able to offer today as to more regard and compliance with the more severe regulations which are implied by admittance into the European club, and abidance by these rules also in case of emergency?
I'm very glad to have this question from the representative of Le Monde. In one sense, he's a week early, though his question seems about 2 years too late. The situation we inherited when we became the government in 1964 was of a very grave balance of payments difficulty, of a gap of £800 million per annum, the most serious in our history, emergency action had to be taken. We could have, within the rules of EFTA, applied quotas, import quotas. We judged this would have been more damaging to international trade and would have had a more serious effect internally in Britain in providing feather bedding protection for industrialists whom we wanted to see become more competitive. We took that action, and I'm glad to tell our friend that today our balance of payments position has improved out of all recognition. If I can give him three figures, our trade gap was £45 million a month in 1964, £23 million a month in 65, £12 million a month in 66, and in surplus in the fourth quarter of 66, and in 1967, on all the figures available, we look like having one of the strongest balance of payment surpluses in Europe. With regard to his fears for the future, if Britain is able, as a result of what will no doubt be tough negotiations, to enter the European Economic Community, we shall abide by the rules of the European Economic Community.